Beloved, I know the email you reread when no one was watching, the words that looked so final on the screen, the interview that seemed full of promise and then ended in silence, the promotion that went to another while you sat quietly trying to keep your face steady, and the opportunity you thought would finally prove your value to those who had underestimated you, overlooked you, or forgotten how much you had carried. I know the way your heart sank, not only because a door closed, but because it felt as though something in you had been judged and found lacking. I know the questions you did not say aloud. I know the prayer you whispered before the meeting, before the application, before the conversation, before the decision came back differently than you hoped. Beloved, I saw the embarrassment that tried to wrap itself around your shoulders like a garment that never belonged to you. I saw the confusion when you wondered why I would let you get close enough to imagine the future and then allow the door to shut before you stepped through it. I saw the financial fear that began counting what might happen next, how long you could hold things together, what would need to change, what would need to wait, who might be disappointed, and whether your life was somehow falling behind. I saw the comparison rise in your mind when someone else celebrated the very thing you were denied. I heard the quiet question beneath all the other questions, the one your mouth barely had courage to form. Did God ignore me? Did God hear me and still say nothing? Did God see how badly I needed this? And I am answering you now with tenderness, not with accusation. I did not allow that career door to close because I forgot you, but because I saw what was waiting behind it when you could only see the title, the salary, the status, the approval, the answer that seemed as though it would finally make your story make sense. You saw a nameplate, a contract, a new level, a place where others might finally recognize your worth. I saw the pressure hidden behind the invitation. I saw the burden that would have followed you home. I saw the compromise that would have asked for small pieces of your peace until your spirit no longer knew how to breathe freely. I saw the room that looked like advancement but carried an assignment your soul was not created to survive. Do not call rejection what I have called protection. Do not call abandonment what I have wrapped in mercy. Do not call failure what may have been the first visible sign that my hand was guarding something sacred within you. That closed door may have saved more than your calendar, more than your pride, more than your next professional step. It may have saved your peace. It may have saved your calling. It may have saved your family from a version of you that would have been present in body but absent in spirit. It may have saved your integrity from an environment that would have taught you to bend slowly until you no longer recognized the sound of your own conviction. It may have saved the tender place in your spirit that was not meant to be crushed beneath the weight of the wrong assignment. As written in Proverbs 16:9, a man's heart deviseth his way, but the Lord directeth his steps. Beloved, you devised a way because you are human. You planned, prepared, hoped, applied, interviewed, waited, and imagined. There was nothing wrong with bringing your desire before me. There was nothing shameful about wanting stability, growth, influence, or provision. But while your heart was devising, my hand was directing. While you were looking at the open door, I was looking at the whole path. While you were asking whether you were good enough to enter, I was asking whether that room was worthy of what I placed inside you. So today, if this message is already touching the place where your career disappointment still aches, subscribe and stay under this word, and write in the comments, God is protecting my calling, because your agreement is part of your surrender. Let your mouth begin to break agreement with shame. Let your spirit begin to loosen its grip on the door that closed. Let your heart say what heaven has been trying to teach you through tears, silence, delay, and redirection. This is not only about a job that did not happen. This is not only about a position you did not receive, a promotion that passed you by, or a career path that suddenly became unclear. This is about a God who was directing steps you could not yet understand, a Father who saw beyond the invitation, a shepherd who blocked the path where danger dressed itself like opportunity, and a faithful hand that closed one door because what I placed inside you was too precious to be wasted in the wrong room. Beloved, the position you lost was not the same as the purpose I gave you. The door that closed may have carried a title, a salary, a schedule, a name, a place where your gifts could have been seen, but it did not carry the authority to define who you are before me. Your calling was never created by a company name. It was never born from a business card, a platform, a manager's approval, a hiring committee's decision, or an offer letter with your name written across it. Before anyone reviewed your resume, I knew you. Before anyone measured your experience, I had already placed treasure within you. Before any workplace decided whether there was room for you, heaven had already spoken over your life. I know you attached more to that opportunity than you admitted. You were not only hoping for employment, you were hoping for confirmation. You were hoping the door would prove that the years of waiting were not wasted, that the quiet sacrifices had been seen, that the skills you built in hidden places still mattered, that you were not behind, not forgotten, not invisible. And when the door closed, it felt as though the answer was not merely no to the job, but no to you. It felt as though something about your worth had been lowered in the eyes of the world, and you began to carry a diminished version of yourself into rooms where I had never asked you to shrink. But listen deeply. Heaven did not reduce you when people overlooked you. I did not change my mind about your life because someone else could not discern what I placed inside you. I did not withdraw my hand because a door did not open according to your expectation. I did not place your value in a workplace that can replace you. I placed your value in my love, in my breath, in my mark, and in my purpose upon your life. What can be taken from you by human decision was never the foundation of who you are. What I have spoken over you remains even when emails go unanswered, even when interviews end in silence, even when promotions pass by your name, even when others misunderstand the season you are in. As written in Isaiah 43:1, "Fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine." Beloved, those words are not only for people standing in temples or kneeling beside altars. They are for you in the office hallway where you felt unseen. They are for you after the rejection letter. They are for you when your name was not chosen, when your work was not acknowledged, when your abilities were questioned, when your confidence trembled under the weight of someone else's evaluation. I have called thee by thy name, not by your job title, not by your income, not by the role you almost received, not by the door that closed, by your name, and you are mine. So, do not let the language of rejection become the language of your identity. What people called unqualified may have been divine redirection. What looked like being passed over may have been being set apart. What seemed like a denial may have been my hand moving you away from a place that could not carry the fullness of what I am preparing in you. Do not bow your head beneath a verdict I never issued. Do not let one closed career door preach to you about the rest of your future. That door has a voice only if you keep listening to it more than you listen to me. There is still work prepared for your hands. There is still light I intend to release through your diligence, your wisdom, your creativity, your integrity, your compassion, and your obedience. Your future is not buried in the office you did not enter. Your purpose is not locked behind the desk you did not receive. Your calling is alive because I am alive, and what I begin, I know how to complete at the appointed time. Remember Joseph. Before he stood in the palace with authority, he had to survive places that looked like rejection. Before his gift made room before rulers, he walked through the pit, through betrayal, through slavery, through prison, through seasons where his life seemed hidden from the very promise I had shown him. And so it is with you. The place that closed may not be the end of the assignment. It may be the beginning of the shaping. Remember Joseph, beloved, who carried a dream before he carried a position, who received a glimpse of assignment before he had any visible authority, who was shown the end before he understood the road, and who was misunderstood by the very people who should have covered him. Joseph did not begin in the palace. He began with a promise inside his spirit and conflict around his life. He began with a dream that was too large for the smallness of other people's jealousy. He began with a word from heaven before he had a title from earth, and because he did not yet know how costly the dream would be, he spoke what he saw, and the people around him could not receive what I had revealed. Beloved, do you see the mirror? Sometimes I allow a glimpse of calling before I allow a door of position, because the promise must live inside you before circumstances know how to make room for it. Joseph carried something real, but the reality of the dream did not protect him from the pain of being rejected. His brothers betrayed him. Familiar ground was taken from beneath his feet. The home he knew disappeared behind him. The people who shared his blood sold him as though his life were a thing to be traded, and the road to destiny began looking like the road away from everything he loved. To human eyes, it looked as though the door had closed forever. To heaven, the shaping had begun. Then Joseph entered Potiphar's house, and even there, in a place he did not choose, He worked with excellence. He did not allow betrayal to make him careless. He did not allow displacement to make him bitter in his hands. He served faithfully in a house where he was not truly free. He managed what was placed before him. He became trustworthy in a season that still felt unjust. And yet, beloved, even excellence did not keep another door from closing. He was falsely accused. His integrity was misread. His purity was punished. His refusal to compromise was turned against him. A lie opened its mouth, and the man who had served well was carried into prison. I know this touches the wound in you, because you also thought that if you worked with excellence, if you showed up early, if you stayed late, if you kept your heart clean, if you honored people who did not honor you, if you did your work quietly and faithfully, then surely the door would open at the right moment. But sometimes, excellent work happens in hidden places before visible favor appears. Sometimes, faithfulness is proven where applause is absent. Sometimes people misjudge the very integrity I am using to prepare you. Do not believe that being misunderstood means you were not anointed for the assignment. Joseph was misunderstood, and still I was with him. Even in the prison, Joseph's gift did not die. The place was low, but the calling was alive. The walls were closed, but heaven was not closed. He interpreted dreams. He helped another man rise. He served someone who would walk out before him. And after Joseph gave help, he was forgotten. The cupbearer returned to Pharaoh's court, but Joseph remained in the prison. Beloved, I know the ache of that part. You helped others move forward while your own door stayed shut. You celebrated people who forgot your name. You gave wisdom that opened paths for someone else while you kept waiting for your own appointed time. You watched another person ascend while you remained in a season that felt beneath the promise I placed inside you. But I did not waste Joseph in the pit, and I did not waste him in the prison. I was not delaying him because I had lost the dream. I was preserving him from arriving in the palace too early, too wounded, too unformed, or in the wrong way. The pit removed him from a place where jealousy would have consumed him. Potiphar's house trained his hands in administration. The false accusation tested whether he would keep righteousness when righteousness seemed to cost him. The prison trained his discernment, his patience, his emotional endurance, his ability to serve while unseen, his ability to listen to the pain of others, even while carrying pain of his own. I was forming a man who could stand before Pharaoh without being intoxicated by power, who could manage abundance without becoming proud, who could survive famine without becoming cruel, and who could face the brothers who wounded him without letting revenge rule his heart. As written in Genesis 50:20, "But as for you, ye thought evil against me, but God meant it unto good." Beloved, those words were not spoken by a man whose life had been easy. They were spoken by a man who had seen betrayal, injustice, delay, false accusation, and forgotten seasons. They were spoken by someone who had reason to be bitter, but had been formed deeply enough to discern my hand above human harm. What others meant for evil, I meant for good. What people intended as rejection, I used as redirection. What jealousy tried to destroy, I used to position. What falsehood tried to bury, I used to refine. What delay tried to make look like abandonment, I used as the hidden road toward appointed authority. And so it is with you. The unfair hiring decision did not escape my sight. The workplace betrayal was not hidden from me. The delayed promotion, the closed application, the interview that went nowhere, the leader who misread you, the person who took credit, the door that opened for someone else while you remained waiting, none of it has been invisible before my eyes. I am not saying every action against you was good. I am saying I am able to take what was painful, unfair, confusing, and undeserved, and weave it into a purpose larger than the wound itself. So today, do not measure the meaning of your season only by the door that closed. Ask what is being formed in you while you wait. Ask what discernment is being sharpened, what humility is being deepened, what endurance is being strengthened, what wisdom is being gathered, what compassion is being planted, what dependence on me is being restored. Joseph proves that a door can close in one season, because I am preparing the character required for a greater assignment in another. The pit was not the end. The prison was not the end. The forgotten years were not wasted years. They were hidden preparation for a door that no man could close when the appointed time arrived. Beloved, begin to see your own closed career door through the light of this mirror. Do not call these years empty simply because they have been difficult. Do not call this season wasted simply because it has been hidden. There is a shaping taking place beneath the surface. There is a palace kind of responsibility that requires a prison-tested heart. There is an appointed door that must not receive a bitter version of you, a frightened version of you, or a version of you still begging people to name what I have already called blessed. Let the closed door teach you, but do not let it define you. Let the delay refine you, but do not let it convince you that I have forgotten. I am preparing you in places you did not choose, for work you could not carry without this formation. Beloved, I saw what that open door would have cost you. You saw the opportunity, but I saw the atmosphere. You saw the salary, but I saw the spiritual cost. You saw the platform, but I saw the pressure that would have bent your soul in a direction I never desired. You saw the new title, the wider room, the recognition, the answer that seemed to arrive after so much waiting. But I saw the hidden weight behind the invitation. I saw the conversations that would have slowly trained you to ignore conviction. I saw the pace that would have demanded your strength while leaving no room for your spirit to breathe. I saw the culture that would have celebrated your performance while quietly draining your prayer. Do not think I was careless with your desire. I knew how long you had prayed. I knew how many mornings you asked me to open something, to move someone, to remember your work, to give you a place where your gifts would not sit buried beneath uncertainty. I knew that opportunity looked like rescue to you. It looked like provision. It looked like proof that the waiting was finally ending. It looked like the door that would make other people understand why you had kept believing. But beloved, there are doors that look like rescue from the outside and become cages once the soul is inside. There are places that offer increase while stealing peace. There are rooms that give a person visibility while quietly requiring the surrender of tenderness, family, health, worship, rest, and truth. I did not close the door to humiliate you, but to hide you. I did not delay the offer to punish you, but to preserve you. I did not block the promotion because you lacked worth, but because I was guarding your future. I did not allow the silence after the interview because your voice had no value, but because I knew the voice you carried would have been pressured to speak what was convenient instead of what was righteous. I did not turn the hearts of decision-makers away from you because I had turned my heart away from you. I was standing between you and a burden you would have mistaken for blessing until it began to bruise the hidden places of your life. I saw the toxic leadership you could not yet see. I saw the person who knew how to speak the language of opportunity while carrying control beneath their words. I saw the compromised ethics that would have asked you to look away just once, then again, until your conscience became tired of resisting. I saw the burnout waiting behind the beautiful description. I saw the late nights that would have multiplied, the weekends that would have disappeared, the meals left uneaten, the prayers rushed, the body ignored, the soul becoming thin beneath the weight of constant demand. I saw the isolation from family, the distance from covering, the relocation that looked like advancement, but would have pulled you away from voices I placed near you for wisdom, protection, and strength. Beloved, you could not see all of it because you were standing at the threshold with hope in your hands, and hope is precious to me. I did not despise your hope. I did not mock your expectation. I did not rebuke you for wanting the door to open, but my love sees farther than your longing. My wisdom reaches beyond the first month, beyond the first paycheck, beyond the congratulations, beyond the excitement of being chosen. I saw the end of the road while you were still asking whether you would be permitted to begin it. I saw how your spirit would ache there. I saw how your joy would dim there. I saw how your confidence would become tied to metrics that could never name your true worth. I saw how the very gift I gave you could be used until it no longer felt sacred in your own hands. As written in Psalm 84:11, the Lord God is a sun and shield. The Lord will give grace and glory. No good thing will he withhold from them that walk uprightly. Listen deeply to this, beloved. I do not withhold what is truly good from a heart walking with me. If I withheld it, then either it was not as good as it appeared, or the timing was not as good as you believed, or I was preparing something better, cleaner, stronger, and more aligned with the calling I have placed within you. My withholding is not cruelty. My shield is not rejection. A shield blocks what would wound you, even when the thing approaching looks desirable. A shield interrupts what would strike you, even when you do not yet recognize the danger. So release the resentment you have carried toward the people involved. Release the bitterness toward the interviewer who never called back, the leader who chose another name, the committee that passed over you, the person who misunderstood your capacity, the company that made you feel small, the door that seemed to mock your prayers by closing at the very moment you expected it to open. Their decision was not stronger than my providence. Their no did not overpower my yes. Their silence did not cancel my voice. Even when human actions were unfair, my hand was not absent. Even when people acted from limitation, preference, fear, bias, or blindness, I was still able to direct your steps away from what would have harmed what I am still preparing. Do not keep returning to that door as though your future died there. Do not keep asking why I did not force open what I was lovingly holding shut. There are answers you will only understand after you have walked farther with me. There are protections you will only recognize when time reveals what was hidden behind the walls you wanted to enter. There are moments coming when you will look back and say, "Now I understand why God did not let me stay, why God did not let them choose me, why God did not let the offer come, why God allowed my heart to ache for a season, rather than allowing my spirit to be crushed for years." And now, beloved, if the closed door was protection, then the waiting season after it is not empty. It is not a blank space in your story. It is not punishment. It is not wasted ground. It is the quiet field where I begin strengthening what the right door will require. It is the hidden room where I restore your discernment, deepen your roots, cleanse your motives, settle your identity, and teach your heart how to desire provision without surrendering peace. I protected you from the wrong door because I am preparing you for the appointed one. Stay close to me in the waiting. Let me rebuild what disappointment tried to weaken. The door that closed did not end your calling. It preserved it. Beloved, the silence after the interview, the pause after the layoff, the months of applications, the unanswered messages, the quiet mornings where you sit with uncertainty and try to gather courage again, these are not wasted ground. The season after the door closes can feel like an empty hallway, a place between what ended and what has not yet begun, but I am telling you now that the hallway is not empty when I am in it with you. The waiting is not a vacant space in your life. It is a hidden classroom. It is a sacred workshop. It is the soil beneath the surface where I begin enlarging you for work that truly belongs to you. You wanted the next door to open quickly because the pain of the last door closing made stillness feel dangerous. You wanted movement because movement seemed like proof that you had not lost ground. You wanted an answer because unanswered days began to speak loudly to your fear. But listen deeply, beloved. Sacred things always grow in hidden depths before they rise to the surface. A seed does not break through the earth the moment it is placed in the soil. First it disappears. First it is covered. First it is hidden from every eye that would ask whether anything is happening at all. Yet in that hidden place, life is not absent. Roots are moving. Strength is gathering. What will one day stand above the ground is first being anchored beneath it. And so it is with you. The roots of your calling may be deepening while nothing visible seems to change. Your resume may still be waiting for a response. Your inbox may still be quiet. Your calendar may still look uncertain. The position may not yet have appeared. The phone may not yet have rung. But beneath what others can see, I am strengthening places in you that could not be strengthened while you were rushing from one demand to another. I am teaching your heart how to stand without constant applause. I am teaching your spirit how to remain steady when outcomes move slowly. I am teaching your mind how to discern between an opportunity that flatters your ambition and an assignment that agrees with your calling. Do not despise the lessons of this quiet season. I may be teaching you patience that will keep you from forcing the wrong door. I may be teaching you financial wisdom so that provision does not become an idol and fear does not become your master. I may be teaching you emotional steadiness so that one rejection does not shake your whole identity and one delay does not make you question my love. I may be sharpening discernment, giving you courage, softening pride, deepening humility, and restoring the ability to work unto me rather than always measuring your labor by who sees it, who praises it, who promotes it, or who understands it. As written in Colossians 3:23, "Whatsoever ye do, do it heartily, as to the Lord, and not unto men." Beloved, this word is not only for the season when you are standing in the position you prayed for, it is for the hidden season too. It is for the resume you revise with trembling hands. It is for the new skill you learn when you feel behind. It is for the small assignment you serve faithfully while waiting for a larger field. It is for the emails you send, the conversations you have, the healing you allow me to do in the wounds left by old workplaces, the quiet listening for direction when your own plans no longer feel clear. When surrendered to me, even unseen work becomes holy. Even preparation becomes worship. Even rebuilding becomes obedience. I know there are days when this does not feel holy to you. It feels frustrating. It feels slow. It feels humbling. It feels like starting again when you thought you would already be farther. You see others moving, celebrating, announcing new roles, entering rooms you hope to enter, and your heart wonders if you are being left behind. But I do not measure growth the way the world measures movement. The world counts announcements. I count formation. The world watches titles. I watch the heart. The world asks how visible you are. I ask whether your roots are deep enough to carry the fruit that is coming. The pressure you feel is not always a sign that you are failing. Many times that very pressure is the stretching of your capacity before a door opens that your old self could not have carried. A vessel must be enlarged before it can hold more. A branch must be strengthened before it can bear heavier fruit. A heart must be steadied before it can walk into responsibility without being ruled by fear, bitterness, comparison, or the hunger to prove itself. I am not stretching you to break you. I am stretching you to make room. I am enlarging the inside of you so that when the appointed door opens, you will not step into it with an anxious spirit, a wounded identity, or a desperate need for human approval to tell you that you are enough. So today, do not call this waiting passive. Do not sit in the ashes of disappointment as though nothing can be done until the whole road is revealed. I often give light for the next faithful step before I reveal the entire path. I may not show you the company yet, but I may show you the skill to strengthen. I may not show you the title yet, but I may show you the wound that needs healing. I may not show you the final destination yet, but I may show you the person to call, the course to begin, the application to send, the conversation to have, the habit to rebuild, the fear to release, the small place to serve with a whole heart. Do not wait for complete certainty before you obey the light already in your hand. Preparation is not striving in panic, but it is also not surrendering to paralysis. Walk with me in the hidden place. Let your obedience be quiet, steady, and sincere. Let your hands do the next faithful thing while your heart rests in my timing. The delay after the closed door is not proof that I have no place for you. It is often the hidden classroom where I enlarge you for the work that belongs to your name, the work your spirit can carry, the work that will not require you to lose yourself in order to be fruitful. Stay teachable, stay near, keep your roots in me. When the next door opens, you will understand why I built capacity in the waiting before I entrusted you with the threshold. Beloved, do not let one closed door make you suspicious of every open one. Do not let one painful workplace teach your heart to expect betrayal everywhere. Do not allow what wounded you in one season to become the lens through which you judge every invitation I place before you. I know why your hand trembles near the handle. I know why your spirit hesitates when a new opportunity begins to appear. You remember the silence after the last interview. You remember the disappointment after the last promise. You remember how it felt to give your strength to a place that did not cover you well, did not honor you well, did not see you clearly, or did not handle your heart with care. But beloved, healing does not mean you never feel the memory. Healing means the memory no longer has authority over your obedience. The old door hurt you, but it is not your Lord. The old rejection disappointed you, but it is not your prophet. The old workplace may have taught you caution, but it must not teach you unbelief. I did not bring you through the waiting season so that you would stand frozen when I begin to open another threshold. I did not restore your roots so that fear could keep your feet planted in the soil of yesterday. I am calling you to discernment, not suspicion. I am calling you to wisdom, not withdrawal. I am calling you to trust me again, not because people have become perfect, but because I am still faithful. As written in Revelation 3:7 and 8, He that openeth, and no man shutteth, and shutteth, and no man openeth. Behold, I have set before thee an open door, and no man can shut it. Beloved, this is not only a word for church walls or distant spiritual matters. I am Lord over thresholds. I am Lord over assignments. I am Lord over timing. I am Lord over the doors of provision, placement, calling, labor, influence, and service. When I close what would harm you, no striving can make it safe. When I open what I have appointed, no human opposition can cancel what my hand has established. So today, rise from the place where disappointment made you motionless, not with the haste of fear, but with the eagerness of faith. Rise without needing every detail explained. Rise without demanding that the new door look exactly like the old dream. Rise without waiting until every emotion is perfectly settled. Some doors open only when you move toward them in trust, and clarity often begins to unfold after your feet obey the light already given. The next step may look small. It may look like applying again after you said you were too tired to try. It may look like accepting a humbler beginning because humility is the soil where I am planting something stronger. It may look like starting the business quietly, returning to school, asking for help, forgiving a leader, updating what you have neglected, or releasing the dream in its old form so I can return it to you, purified, reshaped, and aligned with my purpose. Do not make bitterness your shelter. Bitterness can feel like protection because it keeps you from hoping. It can feel like wisdom because it rehearses every warning, every wound, every reason not to trust. But bitterness is a room with no windows. Disappointment can become a place you decorate, defend, and live in until the very pain you wanted to survive becomes the place you refuse to leave. Beloved, I did not create you to live inside the room of what went wrong. I am calling you to cross a threshold. And when you cross it, remember this: the new door is not only about income. It is not only about recognition, promotion, title, or relief from uncertainty. I am leading you toward a place where your light can be seen, where your integrity can stand, where your gifts can serve, where your presence can carry peace into rooms that need it. Walk forward. Let your yes become visible. Trust me enough to move again. The door that hurt you was not the end of your story, and the threshold before you is not asking for your fear. It is asking for your faith. Beloved, your work is not only a place where bills are paid. It is not only a place where hours are counted, tasks are completed, emails are answered, and responsibilities are carried until the day is done. I am not leading you into work merely so your needs can be met, though I know those needs, and I care for them with tenderness. I am leading you into a field where your life can become a lamp in rooms where many souls are weary, anxious, ambitious, unseen, and silently breaking beneath the weight of performance. There are people who will never enter a sanctuary, but they will sit beside you in a meeting. There are hearts that may never hear a sermon, but they will watch the way you answer pressure, the way you speak with honor, the way you refuse corruption, the way you carry peace when others are ruled by fear. Do not call your ordinary labor small when it is surrendered to me. A meeting can become holy when wisdom is spoken with humility. A classroom can become holy when patience covers a child still learning. A hospital room can become holy when compassion touches the sick. A kitchen can become holy when service is done without bitterness. A desk, a cubicle, a studio, a job site, a remote room, a shop floor, a counseling chair, a management table, a design screen, a sales call, an administrative task, a caregiving schedule. All of these can become places where my light is seen when your heart belongs to me within them. I am not limited to pulpits and platforms. I move through faithful hands. I speak through surrendered character. I shine through ordinary obedience. As spoken in the Gospel of Matthew 5:14, ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on an hill cannot be hid. Beloved, do you hear this? Not as a distant word, but as a word over your work. You are light in the office, where tension has become normal. You are light in the hospital, where grief walks the halls. You are light in the classroom, where young hearts are still forming. You are light in the kitchen, the studio, the courtroom, the warehouse, the business, the home, the call center, the remote room where no one sees how faithfully you continue. Your title does not create the light. My presence within you does. Your salary does not measure the light. Your surrender carries it. And this is why I guarded the door. This is why I did not allow your gift to be consumed in a place that would use your strength without honoring your soul. This is why I closed what would have drained you, and why I am preparing what can become a field of service, healing, order, protection, leadership, provision, and witness. I am not merely trying to place you somewhere impressive. I am placing you where your obedience can bear fruit. I am placing you where your integrity can matter. I am placing you where the compassion formed in your pain can touch someone else who feels overlooked, dismissed, delayed, or forgotten. Remember Joseph. His authority in Egypt was not given merely so he could be elevated above the brothers who rejected him. It was not only about a robe restored, a name honored, or a position granted. His authority became provision during famine. His hidden suffering became wisdom for a nation. His prison years became preparation for stewardship. His pain did not make him cruel when power came into his hands. It made him able to save many lives. And so it is with you. The rejection you survive can make you gentle with those who fear they are not enough. The delay you endured can make you patient with those still developing. The recovery I am working in you can become testimony without you needing to announce it loudly. So do not enter the next season dragging shame behind you. Do not carry anger into the place where I am asking you to serve. Do not let self-accusation speak louder than my calling. The closed door wounded you, but it must not define the way you stand in the open field ahead. Release the story that says you failed beyond repair. Release the story that says you were passed over because you were worthless. Release the story that says your best days are behind you. I am cleansing your hands from bitterness and lifting your eyes toward purpose. Your work is a field, beloved. Your presence is not accidental. Your gifts are not random. Your next assignment is not only employment, it is a place where my light will be seen through your steadiness, your excellence, your mercy, your courage, and your faith. Walk into it with a clean heart. Let me heal what the old door left behind, because the new season will require you to carry light, not shame. Beloved, now let me touch the wound beneath the career disappointment, because the deepest pain was not only that the door closed. The deeper pain was the question that entered your heart after it closed. You began to wonder whether you were behind. You began to wonder whether you had missed something that others seemed to understand. You began to wonder whether your gifts were smaller than you believed, whether your obedience had been overlooked, whether your prayers had fallen to the ground, whether I had chosen others and quietly moved on from you. The closed door hurt, but the story you told yourself after it closed wounded you even more. I saw the moment disappointment became shame. I saw when a no became a verdict in your mind. I saw when silence from an employer began to sound like silence from heaven. I saw when you looked at your life and began measuring your worth by what had not yet opened. And beloved, I am not here to condemn you for feeling the ache. I know the ache of waiting while others seem to move forward. I know the sting of watching someone else receive the announcement, the role, the promotion, the celebration. The open door, while you are still asking me what I am doing in the hidden place. I know how comparison can enter quietly, not with a loud voice at first, but as a whisper that says, maybe you are late, maybe you are less, maybe you have been forgotten. But listen deeply to me. I did not ask you to run another person's race, and I did not write your appointed time on another person's calendar. I did not measure your calling by their timeline. I did not place your harvest inside their season. What I am doing in you is personal. What I am preparing for you is intentional. The timing of your life is not a mistake, because it does not match the pace of someone else's visible movement. You are not behind because another person is being celebrated. You are not less gifted because another door opened for them first. You are not abandoned because your growth is still happening beneath the soil. Do not measure your hidden season against someone else's visible harvest. You do not know the private cost of what they carry. You do not know the weight behind their announcement. You do not know the pruning, the tears, the obedience, the warfare, or the surrender that belongs to their path. And even if their path looks easier, it is not your path. Beloved, comparison will make you resent a blessing I never assigned to you, and it will make you despise the preparation I designed with love. It will make you stand in a field I am watering and call it barren, because another field has already bloomed. As written in Ecclesiastes 3:11, He hath made everything beautiful in his time, not in the time fear demands, not in the time pride prefers, not in the time comparison pressures you to accept. In his time. My timing is not passivity, beloved. My timing is not an excuse for you to bury your gift or refuse the next faithful step. My timing is trust. It is the sacred rhythm by which I mature what I intend to bless. It is the wisdom that knows when the fruit is ready, when the door is clean, when the heart is healed enough to enter without carrying the poison of the last season into the next one. So today, release the shame. Release the shame of being unemployed longer than you expected. Release the shame of starting over. Release the shame of being rejected, overlooked, laid off, delayed, misunderstood, or redirected. Release the shame of needing help. Release the shame of not knowing what comes next. Shame is not the voice I gave you for this threshold. Shame bends your head when I am lifting your face. Shame calls you disqualified when I am calling you prepared. Shame tells you to hide when I am teaching you to walk forward clean-hearted and free. And forgive, beloved. Forgive the company that did not see you clearly. Forgive the interviewer who never responded. Forgive the leader whose decision bruised your confidence. Forgive the colleague whose advancement awakened grief in you. Forgive the system that made you feel invisible. Forgive the people who handled your transition without tenderness. Forgiveness does not mean what happened was righteous. Forgiveness means you will not let what happened continue to rule the atmosphere of your soul. And forgive the younger version of yourself. Forgive the version of you that stayed too long because fear felt safer than change. Forgive the version of you that ignored warning signs because you wanted the door to work. Forgive the version of you that tied identity to productivity, worth to approval, peace to a paycheck, and calling to a title. Forgive the version of you that did not yet know what you know now. I was patient with you while you were learning. Be patient with yourself as you heal. Say this over your soul until the lie loses its grip. You are not late, you are being led. You are not discarded, you are being directed. You are not empty-handed, you are being prepared. You are not forgotten, you are being formed. You are not ruined, you are being restored. You are not standing at the end of your purpose, you are standing in the place where I am teaching your heart to trust me with the next step. Beloved, the closed door loses its power when you stop letting it name you. It was an event. It was not your identity. It was a moment. It was not your destiny. It was a redirection. It was not rejection from my heart. Receive my timing as personal, intentional, and loving. Let me remove the bitterness from your hands, the comparison from your eyes, the shame from your shoulders, and the false story from your mouth. And now you can place it all in my hands. Place the closed door in my hands. Place the waiting season in my hands. Place the unanswered questions, the interviews, the resumes, the fears, the next step, and the desire for meaningful work in my hands. You do not have to carry this as a wound anymore. You can surrender it as a holy place where I protected you, prepared you, and began leading you toward the door appointed for your life. Beloved, now bring it into prayer. Do not leave this closed door only in your memory. Do not leave it only in your disappointment, your questions, your private tears, or the silence you carried when no one knew how deeply it touched you. Bring it before me. Bring the job you did not receive. Bring the promotion that passed you. Bring the business that stalled when you thought momentum had finally come. Bring the interview that went silent. Bring the email that never arrived. The call that never came. The opportunity that seemed so close and then moved beyond your reach. Bring the professional disappointment you could not understand and place it in the hands of the Father who saw what you could not see. Say within your heart, Father, I place before you the door that closed and the pain that followed it. I place before you the title I wanted, the position I lost, the room I hoped to enter, and the future I imagined around that opportunity. I place before you the confusion that rose in me when it did not happen, the shame that tried to cover me, the comparison that wounded my peace, the bitterness that tried to harden my spirit, and the fear that whispered that a closed career door meant a closed future. I bring you the part of me that felt rejected, overlooked, forgotten, and behind. I do not hide it from you anymore. Heal me, Lord, from the wound of rejection. Heal me from the lie that says a human no has the power to cancel a divine yes. Heal me from tying my worth to an employer's decision, my calling to a company's approval, my future to a single opportunity, and my peace to a door that was never strong enough to carry the fullness of what you placed inside me. Wash away the shame that came upon me when things did not work out as I hoped. Cleanse my thoughts from the story that says I failed beyond repair. Silence the voice of comparison that makes me measure my hidden preparation against another person's visible harvest. Beloved, let this prayer become surrender. Say, Lord, remove bitterness from my hands, remove suspicion from my eyes, remove fear from my steps, remove the need to prove myself from my decisions. I forgive the people who did not choose me. I forgive the room that did not receive me. I forgive the process that disappointed me. I forgive myself for grieving longer than I expected, for doubting my value, for questioning my future, and for carrying what you were asking me to release. I give you permission to heal the place where ambition became anxiety and where disappointment became identity. And now declare protection over your calling. Say, Lord, shut every door that would destroy my peace. Shut every door that would compromise my integrity. Shut every door that would drain my family, weaken my prayer, exhaust my spirit, or counterfeit my purpose. Shut the door that looks impressive but would pull me away from obedience. Shut the door that promises increase but demands the surrender of my soul. Shut the door that flatters my gifts but ignores my health, my calling, my character, and my communion with you. I trust you enough to let you close what I cannot yet understand. As written in Proverbs 3:5 and 6, trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. Beloved, this is not only a verse for quiet mornings and easy roads. It is a word for the career path that feels unclear. It is a word for the door that closed. It is a word for the waiting season, the unanswered application, the rerouted plan, the hidden preparation, and the threshold that has not yet appeared. Trust me with all your heart, even here. Acknowledge me in this part of your life too, and I will direct your path. Now pray with openness, not fear. Say, Lord, open the door that aligns with my calling, my provision, my wisdom, my service, and my appointed season. Open the door where my gifts can serve without my soul being crushed. Open the door where healthy leadership, righteous work, and meaningful contribution can meet. Open the door where I can grow in humility, excellence, courage, and peace. Open the door that does not require me to abandon prayer in order to succeed. Open the door that will make room for what you have placed within me, and teach me to walk through it without carrying the shame of the last season. Remember Joseph, beloved, and let his faith rise within your prayer. Say, Lord, what was meant to break me, you will use to form me. What delayed me, you will use to prepare me. What closed behind me, you will use to guide me forward. What humbled me, you will use to deepen me. What disappointed me, you will use to purify me. What I could not understand in the moment, you will weave into wisdom in the appointed time. I may not see the whole path, but I trust the one who holds it. I may not know the name of the next door, but I know the hand that opens it. So today, speak this over your own soul until peace begins to settle where fear once lived. I am not rejected, I am protected. I am not discarded, I am directed, I am not behind. I am being prepared, I am not forgotten. I am held by the God who sees my career, my calling, and my future. The closed door is no longer my wound of rejection. It is a surrendered place of protection, preparation, and renewed trust. Beloved, receive peace now. Let your shoulders loosen beneath the weight you were never meant to carry alone. Let your heart rest from trying to explain everything. Let your hands open. My hand has not left your career. My hand has not left your calling. My hand has not left your future. I am still leading you, still guarding you, still preparing you, and still faithful to open the door appointed for your life. Beloved, walk forward now. Do not return to the old door begging it to name you, because I have already called you mine. Do not stand before what closed and ask it to explain your worth. Do not let a position, a title, a salary, an interview, a leader, or a rejection become the voice that tells you who you are. I knew you before any door opened. I held you after the door closed. I saw the tears you hid, the questions you carried, the shame that tried to settle upon your shoulders, and the fear that whispered your future had been interrupted. But your future was not interrupted, beloved. It was being redirected by my hand. Remember what I have shown you. The closed door was not invisible to me. The disappointment did not erase your identity. Joseph's pit and prison were not proof that his dream had died. They were hidden places where wisdom, humility, endurance, and authority were being formed. What felt painful may have been protection. What felt delayed may have been preparation. What felt like a loss may have been my mercy guarding you from a burden that would have consumed your peace. And now the next step requires faith, not fear. It requires a surrendered heart, a clean spirit, and feet willing to move when I give light for the path. So apply again, but do not apply from panic. Build again, but do not build from proving. Learn again, but do not learn from shame. Rest when I tell you to rest. Forgive when I ask you to release. Serve where I place you. Step forward when I open the threshold. Let wisdom guide you. Let peace guard you. Let obedience steady you, and do not allow fear to become the voice that leads. The door I open will not need your anxiety to keep it open. What I appoint, I sustain. What I bless, I cover. What I call you into, I will give grace to carry. If this word helped you see your career disappointment differently, like this video so it reaches another person standing before a closed door, share it with someone who needs courage at work, and subscribe for more messages that strengthen faith in hidden seasons. Write in the comments, God is protecting my calling, and if you are waiting for a job, healing from workplace pain, or seeking direction for your next step, leave your prayer request below so we can stand with you. Beloved, go in peace. The door that closed did not defeat you, it directed you, and the God who shut what was harmful is able to open what is holy, fruitful, and appointed.